on the beach.
Hello, X here, and welcome back, and today we're going to be covering my first Halo Combat Evolved creation video. This one is one that goes way back to the beginning of Halo, back when custom games were still very limited unless you had Halo Custom Edition. There were very few custom games the community themselves could create with the setting options that they had back then, but that didn't stop the community from creating some fun game modes. One of those custom creations was called D-Day. Even though we call it D-Day, there were some people that called it Omaha Beach or World War II. Based on the Normandy Invasion in World War II. Most Halo gamers, including us old Halo gamers, even probably thought that Halo 2 was the first Halo game to do the D-Day type of custom creation, and they also probably thought it was on Zanzibar, but it was in fact actually done on Halo Combat Evolved that had the first custom creation for the D-Day. There used to be a lot of YouTube videos showing this off, but at this point, most of that footage is now no longer in existence. The map that was played on was called Death Island, which was only available on the PC version, but it's now available on the Halo Master Chief Collection on the Xbox One. It was custom creation used the Team Slayer game variant, in which one team was the attackers and one team was the defenders. The defenders were usually on the blue team, which would be on top of the base and would have the warthogs on top of the base leaning over the edge to shoot down at the people on the beach. There were some other ways people played D-Day with mods and map editing tools with the Halo PC. Mostly though, I was strictly staying with the vanilla version and not including any of the Halo Custom Edition, even though there are quite a few Halo Custom Edition maps. But there are other cool ones that people held lobbies for back in the day that were pretty cool. But it's interesting to see how this game evolved over time since the beginning of Halo Combat Evolved all the way to Halo 5, and who knows what it'll look like in Halo 6 and other future titles. And if you've looked at the Halo 5 ones currently, it changed a lot due to the Forge capabilities to show off some really cool and interesting styles that make it look very creative and a lot better than what it used to be like in the original way. Back then, if you tried to do it the very bare bones vanilla way, you had to do it like, two players and another two players, and you had to set up the map and, have to run around and make it all look like an actual beach scene. You couldn't use any, Forge editing tools or anything like that, unless you, again, use the, Halo Custom Edition. Other than that, you were restricted to that. Some people tried to do, full parties, but that kind of got hard to deal with, so that didn't work out very well for people that were trying to set up these kind of maps. So you had to keep it with small parties back in the original. This custom creation actually evolved a lot over time over what it was before with the small honor system. It wasn't very a big thing to play on the Halo PC to what it is now, where it's one of the most popular game modes to play on Halo 5. Before, you had Halo CE, you played it on Death Island, and then Halo 2 came along, which, kind of rose up in popularity. It became something you played on Zanzibar, and again, it was still team-based. And then Halo 3, of course, last resort, because it's just the evolved version of Zanzibar, and, same thing, beach scene. But now you had the Forge capability, which was really cool, so you could actually do that. The only forging that was in Halo 2 was on the PC, from what I remember seeing a video on a while back then. So anyways, going back to Halo 3, then we move on to Halo Reach, where we played it on Forge World, which was even better because of how much Forge capability it was back then. The other bonus here using Halo Reach's Forge World was the fact that you had the ability to use Invasion game mode, which was really cool. It was a new thing that they added in for Halo Reach, where one team was the defenders and one team was the attackers, and you had to defend these different points and prevent the attackers from taking it, or if you're the attackers, had to either capture or destroy the objective, which allowed for it to be a perfect scenario for making D-Day maps. Then Halo 4, we played on Ravine and Forge Island. With Halo 4, the invasion mode was removed, as it was just a one-time thing for Halo Reach, and they have yet to return it, even though there's a lot of demand to have it back. So it went back to a regular team play, and some of the custom creations used big team battle, capture the flag modes. You had to be the allied side, and you had to take your flag and plant it at the enemy spot near the edge of the cliff to score. Others just did regular BTBs, and we do see some giant Forge creations created maps that people invested a lot of time designing. With Halo 2 Anniversary, we didn't see much gameplay of this. I couldn't even find any YouTube videos or anything of this showing any gameplay of it, unfortunately, because of the fact that Halo 2 Anniversary just didn't get much reception when it came to the game's launch. So until we get like a custom browser, we're just gonna have to wait and see if we ever get to see that. There might have been some custom games of it, there might be some footage of it on YouTube, but I just couldn't find anything. Luckily though, we have some footage that someone showed off that they forged a D-Day map. We don't have any gameplay of it, but the D-Day map was at least well done, and hopefully maybe when they add in that search browser we can see some gameplay on this. Again, with Halo CE and Halo 2, you were restricted to where you could play and whatnot, because without using any forge editing abilities and not using any of the custom edition map editing abilities or mods, you were pretty much restricted to bare bones. So it's kind of like basically you were limited. You couldn't even do this on a console. And then in Halo 3 and onward, we had the forge capabilities to play with consoles, and you could set up the spawn points and set up the maps and everything. Halo 5, there was 2 custom creations made. One that was a D-Day, and one that was the Okinawa, which was basically the Pacific version of D-Day, with the US attacking the Japanese forces during World War II, and the Allied attackers had to clear out the Japanese defenders, versus the original D-Day, which was just the Allied forces trying to storm the beaches of Normandy with the German troops fending them off from the attackers. Both played the same exact way, which both were extremely well done and really fun to actually play this when I got a chance to actually go on Halo 5 and play both of these. Another reason why they incorporated the infection in Halo 5 instead of Team Slayer, which was a good thing, it was a happy accident, was the problem is with custom games currently right now, I'm not sure if they ever will fix this in an update, but what happened is that there's just no way to switch teams, or there's no way to balance out the teams at all, or force teams to be even, and so because of that, it's impossible for most of these custom games to even have team play. So it's easier to just do infection instead and just find ways to incorporate that, which is why it did very well for Halo 5 instead, in which the teams started off with the attackers being a small amount and the defenders being a little bit larger, which had the allies attacking and the Axis players defending and trying to fight for their lives, and over time just slowly building up with their numbers, growing and overwhelming the defenders as more attackers came in, eventually leading to some intense last man standing situations, which was very, very fun to play and very awesome and super intense. Halo Online went back to Last Resort, which was the Halo 3 map that we first started being able to forge in, and this time people created some crazier designs with the D-Day maps, and this time we had some really cool like tall walls and whatnot, and incorporated the Halo 5 style of playing where we use infection instead of big team battle Slayer or capture the flag. They have it where a few people are the infected trying to storm the beach, and as more and more humans die on the defending end, they join the infected and it just becomes a larger and larger force until they eventually get taken over. Again, this just proves that Halo's custom games and forge abilities are so amazing and so important with Halo that it makes it stand out from the rest of the other AAA popular shooters, especially for console. Unfortunately, we don't know whom the original creators of this custom creation were, since it's been so long since this custom game's inception began, but much appreciation goes out to the person who started this creation, whoever those people are. We're glad to see how it's grown and has been loved over time and just become this great thing that's evolved into something so much better than what it was in the original to what it is now, and I'm glad to see that that's what ended up happening with it. I was so surprised at how much this custom creation grew from what it was in Halo Combat Evolved on the PC until now, so I think out of all of it, I think it deserves the Diamond Award, as it survived the ages, which would have given it a higher ranking to almost an Onyx or Champion, but the negatives were that it was difficult to set up and get people committed to these custom creations, but it was enjoyable, that it was still played and evolved greatly over time. Thank you all for watching. Make sure to rate, comment, and subscribe. If you enjoy watching my videos, then make sure to turn on notifications to get updates on this channel for new Halo Custom Archive videos. Check in the video description for more information. Also, if you have any suggestions for other custom creations that I should cover, like custom games, mods, maps, and so on, then make sure to message me and even join my Halo Custom Archive Discord. I would love to hear them. Again, my name is XFerginatorX, and you all have a great day. See you later.